Why'd
But
you,
you like
why'd
that?
you sound like fucking Jim Carrey?
Showtime. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. All
Stop.
right, for real. I'm gonna wait for you to take your drink so we can go. Hurry up
Babe,
and
they,
drink your drink.
babe, they call me the drink. What can I
They
say?
call me the drink. All right. Hello, everybody. This is Otaku's on air. I don't know what episode it is anymore. I think it's maybe 6 or 7. I could
I think
easily
it's
go look on my
7.
YouTube channel, but I won't. I won't. We won't. You can go look at the last episode and tell me what the episode is and put it in the comments below.
You tell us what
You
episode
tell
we're
us
on.
because I don't know. Last week we totally forgot that it was Thanksgiving. Didn't even say, hope you have a happy Thanksgiving. I forgot it was Thanksgiving. It
Hope
was
you did.
fun.
If you're in
Yeah, it was.
America, hope you did.
Yep. Yeah, we have the superior Thanksgiving date. Canada. We are the best Thanksgiving in North America. You heard it here. Hey, it's true. Do you know when their Thanksgiving is? It's in October.
No.
It's October 8th. They don't even get the week off. They just get like a day off and they're back to work. Meanwhile,
Real reproductive,
we
the
get
Canadians
basically a
are.
week off. We get like
I
Friday,
don't
then
get
there's
no week
Cyber
off
Monday. Well, kind of. It's like no one's doing work. I mean, you do it different. Some people aren't doing work on Wednesdays.
to work.
Some people aren't doing work on Wednesdays. It's the last day before for like you leave. And then Thanksgiving happens, and then it's Black Friday. Black Friday is crazy for retail, I know. Then Cyber Monday. So I don't know. We get basically a whole week. I think our Thanksgiving is superior. We go from like our holidays are superior in the US, I should say. We have Halloween, and then a month later it's
You're right.
Thanksgiving.
No other countries have a Halloween adjacent holiday.
No, no. I mean, we have Halloween, and then it's Thanksgiving a month later, and then it's Christmas a month. Our three big holidays are it's unbeaten. It's unbeaten. There's no other great segment of holiday I think on this earth. Holiday. We know holidays right in the US. That's what you should get out of this conversation.
Uh, I'll let you have that opinion.
What? What do you think? Do you have an opinion? Do you have an
I
opinion?
think that like
What's
not to
your
get
opinion?
political, but
What's the
I
point?
think a lot of other countries have it really good. Like you can take like a fucking like month to 2 months off of work if you want to, just because you can.
Okay, well, I'm not talking about all of that.
Well, like it you
I'm talking
sometimes
about
like it
the
revolves around the holidays and like there's also like the different like New Year's that people have. Like it's like a whole like some month long
but
event.
do you hear him talking about
Dia
it?
de los Muertos is a really big holiday in Mexico, and that's like super big deal. Like,
Okay, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
I'm
I'm
sorry,
s-
I'm blinded by your patriotism.
this is not patriotism. I'm just straight up saying that these three holidays, I'm not saying that the holidays, the individual name and what they mean holidays are what makes them great. I'm talking about the fact that we have back to back to back
The sequence, I see.
holidays and like in between you could celebrate each one for each individual month and most likely, well, maybe not Halloween, but like Thanksgiving you get X amount of
If you're
time if you
me,
do.
Halloween is every year, all
And
the
then
time.
Christmas is like people are basically off from the 20th to New Year's. And then if New Year's is right after Christmas, it's unbeaten. Four straight holidays. You basically get a week off from Christmas to New Year's if you're lucky. Like I think that's an unbeaten amount of time. I don't know, just saying, just saying. It's not nationalism. This is not politics. This is just one man who likes the holidays
It's just
opinion.
I love the holiday
It's
season.
just this is just one man's opinion, one bandana man's opinion about the holidays. But
Speaking
anyway,
of bandana men.
yeah. Anyway, if you what do you think? I don't know. Just tell me. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I don't
What's
know.
your favorite
What's your
holiday?
opinion on the holidays? I don't know, man. I just Just having opinions out here. That's a podcast. I'm a white man on a podcast. I gotta have opinions on things. And I'm not even white.
You're not a white man.
Well, speaking of non-white people, let's talk about MHA's final chapter. Um, it's not the final chapter. The final chapter already came out, but this is like what the edition, the volume edition, the addition to the edition. Uh,
Yeah, I think.
we haven't really talked about My Hero Academia to the fullest extent that we could. I know for every reason you just hate it. Um,
Listen,
but MHA
I've already
ended.
got my comment hate on it, okay?
Yeah, MHA ended a couple months ago, and the last chapter, you know what? There's a multitude of sides on how a manga should end. I feel like manga endings are very hit or miss. I bet they never miss, huh? But they do. And I just think that
Fucking 20, what was that? 19 called.
I know.
They want you back.
Hey. But yeah, I mean, with JJK's ending kind of sucked, and that's just my opinion. But there's a lot of fans. My point being here is that MHA had an ending that maybe we looked a little bit too roughly on it at the time.
Maybe we
And
judged you too hard.
yeah, maybe we did because now this new edition comes out and it kind of gives us a lot of closure that maybe we didn't get in the final chapter. We do
Yeah.
finally get the top. This is also spoilers for the end of the manga, but it's been out for a while and like I don't know, it's just spoiler alert, I guess, but it's whatever. This is the final addition to the final chapter. This is like the Horikoshi's goodbye volume sort of thing, and he wrote a bunch of like add-ons to what that chapter was. So, and I could be interpreting what this is. This is like I don't really know how to explain. I think that was just like the chapter, and then this is the volume. I'm gonna go with that because
Yeah,
I
like it
look
almost feels like an epilogue type, you
yeah.
know?
I looked it up online. I don't know. This literally came out like a day or two ago. So, and I'm literally just one guy with a bandana. So I'm just a chill guy. I try to look up online. I try to look up things. I don't know. I'm just trying here. So let me put this in front of me instead of looking to the side. We get the final, or we get the new Billboard top 10. We could actually get the top 20 in the hero listings for the time skip, and like Mirio's number one. We
Makes you
got
want to
showed
cry.
Yeah. We got number two. I'm gonna guess number two is Shoto. That's Shoto, right?
Yeah.
Shoto, and then you got Mount Lady. Number four is Kamui Woods. Five is Best Genius. Six is Mirko. Seven is Nigiri. Number eight is the Wash Lady. Number nine is Shoji. Number 10 is Monoma.
Crazy. So crazy.
I love Monoma, man. I'm the one who pulls the strings.
He's
I can't.
fucking, that's
You
so
gotta watch
wild.
that. You gotta watch that episode. He's so funny. He's such a great character. Number 11 is Fat Gum. Number 12 is Kirishima. 13 is Ida. 14 is Hanonuki. I don't know that guy. Um, Number 15 is Bakugo. Then it's 16 is Isa, and then Tokiyami, Tamaki, Momo, and then Shindo. So
Tamaki.
I butchered a lot of people's names. Listen, I just say them and I try. I try. I try. Dabura, Dubura, whatever. You fight me. We find out that Bakugo got his card signed by All Might, which is a cute callback to the part where Bakugo was supposed to
Yeah,
die, and
they're
then
really cute. Don't get
so
me started on that, but that was really cute.
yeah, that was cute. Bakugo and Kirishima are sharing a ride, and they pick up Deku, and Deku is just smashed in the back seat. It's hilarious. We get Jiro and Kaminari. But there's like Discord online that they're not together. I mean, what do people want
Yeah.
though? That like what do they want smashing lips and they want them to be like they're together for sure. It's like who cares? I mean, it's
Well, I
just
think like I don't think people, well, okay. I personally really liked Denki and Jiro more than Deku and Uraraka, and that's just me
I
personally.
mean
Um
Jiro and Kaminari.
Yeah, Denki Kaminari.
Oh my. I was thinking of fucking Denji in my head. I was like, why am I Denji? Like
No,
Denji,
not
Denji
not
and Jiro.
Denji.
What?
I want Denji nowhere
My
near
bad.
Jiro.
My bad. My bad. My
But
bad. Keep going.
yeah, I like them a little bit better personally than Deku and Uraraka. But I'm like not to like jump the gun, but I'm not mad that they're together. I'm not mad that like
Oh,
with the
we'll get there.
treatment they got. Yeah. Like we'll talk more about that later, but like just for reference's sake, I feel like people weren't expecting them to have that type of treatment, but for there to have some kind of like acknowledgement, like maybe it's like spoken, like it's stated through conversation, or maybe they're like in a panel holding hands or something, like something that like acknowledges that they're together, whereas like in the uh manga panel we get, they're just kind of like talking like they're side by side. That's it's not really like to me that's not and like that's to a lot of other people online that's not like a big like they're together, like they're just
Yeah. I don't think that's a
in the
huge
same in
want.
the
Like, I don't
same
think,
place together.
yeah. Like, I don't think that's a huge, like, want that you shouldn't, like, be not expecting that. But at the same time, it's
That's what I'm
like,
saying. Like it wasn't
we
like a
also,
like yeah.
we also get information about the mushroom girl and, like, I
Hmm.
don't know, the guy with white hair
Yeah,
from
I don't
Class B
remember
are
their
dating.
name. Yeah, I
Like,
don't remember their
it's like if
names.
we got that, why don't we get Jiro and Kaminari? I feel like that's
That's what
kind
I'm
of
saying. Like just like some form of like acknowledgement that
right.
like something's going on.
Yeah. Then we also get the finishing of the Class A reunion. We get to see all of them kind of hanging out and eating. That was kind of cute.
Hmm.
We find out that Shinzo's hero name is Nighthide, which I think is a terrible name.
I also think that's a terrible name. That sounds like Rawhide, but
That
like
sounds like a transformer.
night.
Nighthide is kind of like, I don't know,
Makes me
Shinzo.
think of like booty, like night booty.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of a bad name. But yeah, we find out that although I do like Shinzo's final design, I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I do like how he looks, but
Um,
same.
we get a conversation between Deku and one of the kids. This is from the actual regular chapter that came out, but we get confirmation for sure about Deku would have became a teacher if he didn't lose one for all, but we all kind of knew that. Uh, we find out the Shoto's name is the air conditioner hero, and
That's so funny.
that is purely just from this is literally the translations like direct. They don't have the English
Right.
translations yet. This is directly like they aren't leaks because it's an official chapter, but this is just they're gonna translate them officially in a little bit. So these are just whatever. We were ahead of the game.
Direct translations, which like means that Nighthide hopefully changes.
Yeah. Same thing as air conditioner here. I think that's terrible.
No, that's hilarious. I need that to stay. There's
I
also
don't like that.
online discourse that like people don't really like that and that it
I think
feels
it's funny.
goofy. Yeah, like it's super goofy. Um so people are I've seen people saying that they also hope that it changes.
We find out that Toya is dead. That's Shoto's brother. So, all right. I mean, he was a
AKA
fucking
Dobby.
yeah, Dobby. He was a fucking burnt crisp anyway. So he had a burnt crisp with a heartbeat. So
So
wasn't much
tragic.
living there anyway. The only part, and I'm not even gonna try and be an Endeavor apologist here, but the only part that I feel that I wish that we could have got more closure on would have been the Todoroki family. Um,
Yeah, I
and just
agree.
more anything really that was arguably the most I don't know
Interesting like
interesting
subplot. Yeah.
storyline for me in the entirety of
Hmm.
MHA. I
No,
thought
me too.
I gave a shit about them the most. I think that they had really good
Hmm.
I don't know, it's just really interesting to see a superhero family drama implode on them like it
Hmm.
did and how I mean all it took was one bad fucking dad who ironically was the best hero. It's such so good, such good writing. And if Shoto would have been the main character, you would easily have just as good a story. If not, if
Hmm.
having Deku be a side character in Shoto's story you would have a very good storyline right there. But yeah, we find
Yeah,
out
I agree with
Toya's
that.
dead. Um, yeah, Coda is Shoji's sidekick, which is kind of cool. So they're hanging
It
out,
fits. Hmm.
doing their thing. I never really thought that Coda was anything but, kind of a sidekick kind of dude, so it makes sense. Uh, Sato is washing machine sidekick. Sato
That
is
was
the sh
interesting to me. Like, how does I wonder how his like sugar
yeah, that's
powers. Well,
Sugar Man.
I guess it's like his super strength, right? So I guess that makes sense.
I don't know. She's a fucking washing machine. No,
You're
fucking
like, dude, I
knows.
don't know. She's a
I
washing
don't fuck. I don't fucking know. She needs help. I don't know.
Like, bro, she's a
Apparent
washing machine.
apparently Ayama is Hagakuri's sidekick. So
Hagakure.
like Hagakure's sidekick. I don't know. I guess he got his beam. His beam thing is good. I don't know. That's kind. I don't know. I don't want to talk about Ayama.
Yeah, but like, I
That guy
guess,
sucks.
I guess it makes sense because she kind of like, she had kind of like a similar thing. So I guess that works.
Yeah. Then finally we get to see the big part of this whole chapter is Deku and Uraraka's relationship is finally confirmed in MHA. We finally get this this last scene that is ripped straight out of a rom-com with
For real.
Deku running through this crowd to stop Uraraka before she boards her train. And we to put the knife further into the gut-wrenching emotions that are going on here, we see Toga's like spirit from the spirit realm push Toga forward to go and talk to Deku, and man,
Pushes Uraraka forward.
pushes Uraraka forward, and man, that is chef's kiss, chef's kiss. Listen, I know there are so many people that this isn't really confirmed. To just be clear, this isn't super confirmed that they end up together, but it's like, come on, they just
Yeah,
they're
it's at
not.
least implied that they're gonna start talking to each other like that, you know?
Yeah. But I know a lot of people have opinions on who they wanted Deku to end up with, who they wanted Uraraka to end up with. But man, this was laid out from chapter one, basically. The first time he even talked to Uraraka, he was like, "Oh my God, I can't believe a girl talked to me." Um, this man, this man just put business first. He put business first for the entirety of the story. He
So
liked
did
her,
she. I
and
would,
so did
yeah, like,
she.
so
Yeah,
yeah,
so
so
did
did
she.
she.
Um, and for a character like Deku to even attempt to have a relationship during everything that was going
Yeah,
on
it's
would have
way
been
too
crazy.
hard.
It would have been crazy. So I know people want him to end up with Bakugo. Um,
That's, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, the My Hero fandom is such a like ship heavy fandom
yeah.
that it's like hard to say like who exactly like should have ended up together versus like just what people really really wanted in terms of like relationships. And I've seen a lot of excuse me. I've seen a lot of discourse too online about people saying that they feel that there shouldn't have been any finalized ships at all because of how like heavily divided the fandom is on ships, that they wish that nothing had been confirmed so that there wouldn't be like any backlash in terms of like ships being confirmed.
I mean, this show is so like this anime, this whole IP has people up in arms over every single thing that happens. Doesn't even matter if it's they confirm anything. So you know what? Good for Horikoshi to go out there and give a confirmation for a couple things. Like I mean, we get like Jiro and whatever her name is and Denki hanging out, and they're like, "Oh, we hate that." Like they're not even together. They just hate it. They just hate on things to hate on it. I think it's cute that Toga uh pushes Uraraka and kind of Uraraka was somebody who was pushing herself forward in her career because of the things that happened to Toga. Like she wanted to make it a better place for people who had quirks that weren't necessarily normal. And she took
Yeah.
that. And I mean, Toga was one who like they had a weird love triangle thing with her, Toga and Deku, whatever they wanted to go with that. And obviously Deku was not gonna go with Toga. But they had that thing going. So I think it's a cute kind of full circle moment for then Toga to be like, "Hey, go live your life."
I think
Go
it's
and
a yeah. I think it's a good finalizing for her character also because she really wanted to have that kind of life, and she felt that she could not have that.
yes.
So,
So I like
mhm.
that. I don't know. I think it's fine. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Deku should have ended up with someone else? I mean, I don't know. I know a lot of My Hero fans are super upset again that Deku and Bakugo didn't end up together, but it's like, I don't know, man.
I don't mean to laugh. It's just
No, I mean,
I
like
don't
it's
know.
all over the place. It's such a, I don't know. Listen, if you wanted that, great. I just think that that's your opinion, but it didn't come true.
Yeah,
You
like
just got to get over
all
it.
that's the thing. Like all and this is for like any fandom. Like I'm not saying this like that this is just like a problem in the My Hero fandom. Like while it is like very prevalent in the My Hero fandom, this happens like in every single fandom where you have like a bunch of ships and everybody's like super like divided on them, but like it's all in good fun, Like it's okay.
Not My Hero.
It's
It's not
okay.
it's not fun at My Hero. I've seen so many TikToks the last 3 days of people absolutely losing their mind that Deku and Bakugo did not end up together.
Like, guys, it's
And
okay.
abs no, apparently it's not okay because they're breaking down. They are destroying towns. No, they're not actually destroying towns, but like
They are
there is
committing arson.
there is so much that they hate about this entire final chapter edition. Look, it's fine. It's just a relationship. It's just a fictional relationship at the
It's
end of the day.
okay.
I know you care about these characters. I know you wanted these things, but look, it didn't happen. It's okay. Why
You
can't you
still
just be
have
happy for Deku?
you
Be
still
happy
have
for
fan
Deku.
fiction. You still have your dreams.
You still
You
can
still
you
have cosplay things at conventions because they're
you
all
can do
they're all Bakudeku shippers. It's okay.
you can do it. No
It's
one's
okay.
stopping you from doing any of these things. This is just please don't go attack Horikoshi. I know he's very private in his life anyway, so it's not like you can go and find him. But like, I don't know if you
And
manage to find
don't
him, don't
attack
attack
other
him.
people for having
Yeah,
different opinions on ships than you.
yeah.
It's all in good fun. Like you all like the same thing. You both love the the content it's coming from. So it's okay.
Maybe one day we should do the toxic MHA thing and go through all the ships and do our ranking of MHA ships.
We
We
get
should do that.
canceled.
Oh my
Get
God. All right.
canceled.
All right, what do you guys think about the last chapter below? Let us know in the comments below. All right, let's get on to the other most controversial, I guess the second most controversial thing that's dropped this week.
Dude,
Um,
I've been like dreading talking about this. Like I don't know how I'm gonna get my thoughts together.
well, if you don't know what she's talking about, we this is our chapter review. This is our episode review for DanDaDan episode 9, Merge Serpo Dover Demon Nessie. That's the title of the episode. I read it. I can read. Uh, so okay, before we get into the most controversial parts of this episode, I kind of want to go like, let's just go like block for block what happens, and then we could get into the super
Okay.
discussion about it.
Okay.
I'm kind of gonna blast through this episode a little bit because yeah, they were fighting, yeah, there was little character moments that happened, but there's obviously a giant shrimp in the room that we need to talk about. Um, okay, so Shrimp and the gang square off with Okaru getting stripped and having to find clothes. I thought that him running around the whole place was really funny as he was trying to find clothes. It gave me kind of a classic cartoon vibe. And the fact that the amount of effort that it took to hide his junk in this episode was pretty impressive. So I guess you gotta give him that.
Props to
Uh,
him. Props to the animator.
Props to them. I really liked Okaru's transformation into the demon form with the glass breaking and showing his reveal. I thought that was really cool. We got to see acrobatic Silky's demon form, or Ira's acrobatic Silky's demon form, whatever. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought she looked dope. I like the aliens calling their telekinesis power the Awesome Zone. I think that that's
Yeah, yeah, domain expansion.
I think
The
that that's
awesome zone.
I think that that's hilarious. The aliens take over the shrimp's body uh, after they hired the shrimp somehow. Did they hire him on like Craigslist? I don't know how the hiring
Fiverr.
system works. Something they're like Facebook Marketplace this guy. Or yeah, what's that thing that you can call somebody to like put up your TV? Like, you know what I'm
Like
talking
Angie's
about?
List or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, they Angie listed this shrimp team and they're like, "Hey, we need you for one job, beat up some kids." Yeah,
You need
so
to
then
steal some bananas.
yeah, some bananas, and he was not expecting these kind of bananas. Momo, Ira, and Okaru's three-way romantic triangle is pretty hilarious throughout this episode, especially with demon form Okarun like defending Momo every time she says something. He's like, "Yeah, babe, that's a great idea." Like, I thought that was hilarious each time it happened. So good on demon form Okarun for still being the um, I don't know, the simp he is. Uh, we find out that Okaru names the Godzilla-looking thing Nessie after the Loch Ness monster, so
He got so excited. It was so funny.
that was cool. Okaru and Momo have an argument about their relationship in the middle of the battle, which was kind of crazy. But good for Okaru for describing exactly how he was feeling and telling Momo how he was, and then they go underwater naked in front of each other. And I guess I thought it was kind of cool, beautiful moment for them looking into each other's eyes, but then he's naked, so whatever. We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't worry. We'll get there. The aliens merge with Nessie, the kids defeat them, and then everybody sees them naked running through the halls. Okay, that's the episode rundown. Let's just talk about the naked kids. Let's talk about it's all I wanted to talk about was the naked kids in the show. Or I want to talk about the kids who were naked in the show because of it. Because of what they chose to do. Anyway, kids were naked in the show. Okarun was fully naked throughout the entire thing. As I pointed out earlier, they did an extremely good job of hiding his junk in the most funny ways. But there were obvious plot points that had to do with him rubbing his junk on people and, kids looking at the junk and they decided to strip for some reason, for water resistance. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on the most about naked man and then girls stripping in an anime, high school anime?
Uh, literally, like when we finished watching the episode, uh, Nico's turned to me and he's like, "You have to defend this when we record this." I'm like, "I don't know." He was so excited because he knew that I was gonna not know how to talk about this, and I really don't know how to talk about this. Um, I think I think I will preface in saying that uh DanDaDan is still one of my like most anticipated watches every week. Um and this episode doesn't necessarily change that for me. Um and like I still really really like it. Uh but I also want to say that in any anime I watch, I do not like fan service. It's just not for me. Especially because a lot of like the anime that is being put out revolves around like 16, 17, 15 year old children. Um, and even when like for example, like in Fairy Tale, like a lot of them are of age, and a lot of the fan service revolves around the characters that are a little bit older, which I appreciate, but I still don't like fan service. It just makes me feel icky. I don't like watching it. Um,
Explain
so
to them what fan service is, because people in America take fan service as
okay,
like people in like Marvel. They like there's a
okay,
podcast that I watched that
okay.
people were
No,
like,
you're
"Hey,
right.
fan service is whatever." But yeah, explain what it is.
No, you're absolutely right. In like anime, fan service relates to showing either like girls or guys. It's mainly towards women, um, in like bikinis or in like scantily clothed, and they're just like all on the screen, like showing like their titties, showing their butt, like any like just it's for a specific audience and it's for a specific gaze. And that's kind of like or and that not also like it just like it's just for a specific pleasureful view. Like it's not always scantily clothed or like no clothing at all. Sometimes it's like inmate outfits or like cat girl outfits, like just whatever is like the niche that they're trying to like um what's the word like
Go for?
yeah, like that they're trying to like show. Um I don't really like it. It's icky to me. And this episode was probably like one of the most fan servicey heavy episodes in DanDaDan that we've seen this far. But probably like one of the most fan servicey, like heavy episodes I've watched in all of like anime. And I've been watching Fairy Tail, and Fairy Tail is like fucking crazy, um, with
Yeah.
fan service. Um, and I also don't like it there either. But like, so it kind of watching it made me feel uncomfortable. Um, but I also know that like it was still funny. Like it would be different if it was like overtly sexual, which it wasn't entirely. Um, because it could have been worse. It could have absolutely been worse. Um, but but yeah, like I just it doesn't make me not want to watch the show anymore. But the and I oh what I lost my train of thought. Where I was going was that I also know that like they are technically of age in Japan, and so it what is considered weird to the Western audience isn't as taboo in their like culture. So it's kind of like a give and take. But for
Yeah.
me, yeah,
So like here's my thing. Every anime, it seems, has these moments where, they're gonna make you uncomfortable with what they're showing on screen. I personally, like, I'm not super affected by it because it's whatever. I mean, like, they've had pervy. I've watched shit from fucking, from original Dragon Ball with Roshi going through like women's underwear and like getting nosebleeds every time. The Brock, the fiending over women in Pokemon. And it's like at this point, it's like it doesn't even really phase me, but I understand that Don DeDon has now reached a level of audience that people are going to be kind of disturbed by what they see in this. And I'm not even gonna try and say that they did it artfully in like very not even on the nose because there's a point in this part of this show where Okaroon and Ira and Momo are all hanging out, not hanging out, but they're all of them are in one little section of this room. And Momo's like, strip so we can get water resistant. Despite them running around and floating in this water the entire time, she's just like, strip, it'll make us more water resistant. Like, where do they even come from? What are you even talking about? Like, they didn't have the strip at all. So, I don't know. They decide to strip the girls down for whatever reason. And then we see Momo talking about riding. Maybe this happened right before that, but
it did.
Momo's talking about riding Okaroon, and she shows a literal demonstration of how she's gonna ride him with her powers, where she shows
It was a
Okaroon
gestural
like yeah,
motion, yeah.
going forward, and then the
Like
her
grappling a
telekinetic
fish.
yes, so her like technical hands or her telekinesis hands were like going forward with it, and it's like she's talking about riding and going down, and it's like you
Him and I
know,
looked at each other and we were like,
you know,
"Hello?"
You know,
Like,
so it's like I have thoughts that go to places that are like, all right, you didn't have to do that, and there are ways I guess you could have tastefully shown that. But like I don't know, you want to stay true to the source material, and then there's talks of how what you want to do with censorship, and it's like ultimately who gives a fuck? Because it's like it's just a small part in a show that is about demons, and they're trying to get this guy's ball back, you know. So I guess you should be prepared to see this kind of stuff anyway.
yeah.
And I think the only thing that makes this different than say, like, let's just say this happened in, I don't know, Invincible. Like, let's just say Mark Grayson lost his suit and he needed to hide around. He was naked and he had to like hug Adam Eve, and it's like if you're watching that, it's on Amazon. It's already rated R thing. It's already we've had plenty of evidence in that show that talk about sex. They literally blow someone's brains out. You know, Amazon has The Boys. You know what I'm talking about? Like there are plenty of evidence to show you that this is what that is, right? Meanwhile,
Yeah.
this is a show where they're in high school, and while they are in high school in parts of Invincible, they're now in college. They aged them up to where they're in college, and like
Yeah, they didn't start being like
yeah,
they didn't
there was
start
no
having
sex
sex
in
until
high
they were,
school.
yeah.
Yeah. There was no like there were parts where it was like regular stuff where they would show them like, oh, they're gonna make out, they're gonna do something in high school, but they wouldn't show it. And I'm not saying
Which
they
is
did not
also
sh
like sorry.
no, well they didn't show sex in this. They did not show that, but they was it's heavily uh I don't know, man. You take what you want from that. I think that it's we saw what
No,
she
like
did. We talked about her riding him. We shown
mhm.
he was on top of her and she was like so glad you're hard at the very end. She literally said, "So glad you
Yeah,
were
and Okaru
hard."
was like, "What are you talking about?"
Like that, them exploding out, and then them having the after, I don't know, sex glaze on their face, where they're like, "Oh yeah, oh yeah," like that was it, man. That was it. So I don't know, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like what I was gonna say is like you referencing Invincible and like what happens when they're in high school versus like what happens when they're of age. Like it's a Western like made material. So like that makes sense because that aligns with like the Western like ideology of like sex and like sexuality and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Like this is very normalized in anime. So it's like it's not like that it's not expected, but it's still like oh, like you can still be taken aback by it. So I definitely like I think it's definitely like to each their own with this episode. But like the like fight scenes were really cool, like despite it all. And like I really liked how um when you're in like the demon world or like uh when there was like they're surrounded by the water and stuff, I really liked how it had like that green tint to everything. Like the colorization was really nice. There was still like a lot of things to love about this episode, but at least for me especially, it was very like, oh, it was
yeah.
very on the nose with some of the things that they were showing and were being said.
That's kind of why I wanted to kind of go over quickly about what happened in the episode because it's like, yeah, they're cool. I like I thought the shrimp being on time where he was just like, I
Yeah.
want a break, and then gets taken over by the alien's body, and then that alien being taken over by that body. The aliens aren't working together. They're bad at working together.
Yeah.
Um, I thought that Ira and Okaru's demon forms working together did had really good chemistry, unironically.
So did I.
And I liked Ira's demon form. I thought that looked pretty
Hmm.
cool. I
Me
can't
too.
wait to see it not in the green tint.
Hmm.
I want to see it outside of it being one color. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, this episode was fine. This is it's a fine episode. I think this is just a massive kind of distraction from like where they're going in the story. And like again, it's a story about a kid trying to get his balls back.
Yeah, so it's yeah.
So like I get it. I understand. I'm self-aware enough to talk to understand that that's the kind of thing I'm watching. I still can have the opinion that that makes me uncomfortable seeing,
Yeah,
a
exactly.
16-year-old boy run around and then rub his junk on both girls basically and
And
then
then wake
have
up,
them
quote
strip and
unquote,
then
on
yeah, well
top of her.
then have them strip, get on top of him again, and then have them ride him multiple times, and then have him wake up in a daze naked in front of his entire classmates, and they're taking pictures of it. It's you know what? It's yeah, I think it's a little weird. I think it might have been a little much for my conservative heart, apparently. That's what I'm gonna be labeled now for talking about the U.S. having great holidays, and then me being like, the kids shouldn't be naked on TV.
Like that's why I wanted to preface that like I personally just don't like fan service and like but that doesn't deter me from still thinking that this is probably like my favorite show that we've watched this season and it's still my
Yeah,
most anticipated show. I just me personally that's not my taste and I know that a lot of people do like it whether you're like kind of weird or not. So
yeah,
it's like it's a to each their own thing.
yeah. That's kind of it. That's all I kind of had for this episode. I mean, this is the the only other big thing I think that happened in this episode was Okarun and Momo having that moment
Yeah,
where he
yeah, I
talks with
like
her,
completely forgot about that. I
and
thought
I
that that
think
was really nice.
yeah, I thought that that was a really good moment for I think a male character speaking to
Hmm.
a woman character in that kind of tone. 'Cause I feel like a lot of times it comes from the girls trying to explain to a guy who doesn't understand, and
Yeah,
I think that that's good representation for the guy having uh thinking with his head and not with his dick that was out, which is funny
his
because
one
Momo.
ball.
His one ball out because it's funny because Momo was immediately like crazy that coming from you when you're naked. And she's like, okay, fair, but like
You
not
know,
the point.
I did really like that. I liked the representation of like emotional maturity from a male perspective because like it's true. Like you always see like the woman that's like trying to get the guy to understand her and to like have emotional maturity and to like communicate also. And in this instance, you have him trying to like get her to talk about it outside of like accusing him of things and letting her know how he feels and that he's still like taking into consideration her feelings. Like that's so important to like teach that like open communication and um emotional maturity and like emotional intelligence are very, very important, not only in a platonic relationship, but absolutely in a romantic relationship.
Hilarious timing to try and say that.
Yeah.
Hilarious timing to try and express this. Teach the kids a lesson. I guess
Yeah.
in this weird timing
Both
to choose
naked.
that. But hey, I mean, when else but in the present? Um, Yeah, that's kind of all I got for this episode. It's not really, there wasn't really much else. The fights are cool. I like Godzilla. I like the aliens are back. I like the shrimp monster. Was there anything else you had about DanDaDans this week?
I think my last thing is that I've been seeing a lot of TikTok discourse about, which I find really funny, about Ira being a pick me.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And um like a lot of the content that I was getting was like in favor of Momo and like very, very negative towards Ira. And like Ira still kind of like irritates me, but I get the potential in her character and I really like kind of like where it's kind of going. But yeah, she was a pick me in this episode, absolutely.
That was the funniest part from her was when Corinne was like, "Yeah, it's Nessie," and then she'd be like, "Oh my God,
Yeah, that
oh
was so
my God, a Nessie?
Can you
Really? Tell
she's
me
like, tell
more.
me more.
Tell me more about Nessie. Oh
You know
my
what? I did kind of get
God."
her. I kind of got her in that sense.
And then
I love
fucking when when
Love when
Okarun
they
turned
nerd
back
out.
into a dude, when Okarun turned back into a demon and was like, I'm just a I'm just a chill guy. I'm just an awkward guy. And then fucking then zooming in on Momo with the like the fuzzy PNG face of her was so funny. This show is extremely funny. I think that it had that's what I mean. Like the ability to be as controversial as it can be. I don't think this is the worst it's gonna get. I'm just gonna say it there. I don't think this is the worst it's gonna get.
Oh, well, buckle in,
We
buckos,
definitely
cause
have room to continue it. But you know what? This was our. I'm still gonna say watch the show. I'm still gonna say watch the show. We're still gonna watch the show. How are you guys feeling about the show? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching our last video. We do these reaction videos every week to the latest yeah, honestly, DanDaDan Dragon Ball Daima. We do these reactions every week. So, thank you guys for watching, but also let us know in the comments below. You guys always blow us away with the comments, and we look forward to them every week. So let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. While you're down there, leave a like, subscribe, stay a while. Go on our channel. Look around at our channel's content. It's cool. All right, let's talk about the coolest episode, the best, maybe my a top five episode of Dragon Ball for me in the entire series. That's saying a lot. This episode had a lot of everything that you could ask for in a Dragon Ball show. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is our reaction to Dragon Ball Daima Episode 8 titled Tamagami. And rightfully so. Um, I just want to glaze this episode for a little bit here. This fight had everything you want from a Dragon Ball fight. It had hand-to-hand combat. So if you're an original OG, your favorite things OG Dragon Ball, you had your hand-to-hand slash sword play fight, which was choreographed amazing. It was absolutely amazing watching Goku use his power pole and Tamagami use his Thor hammer. I think that was fucking sick. You get transformations. You get Goku turning into Super Saiyan 2, maybe. You get a beam struggle. I mean, and then you at the end you get classic Dragon Ball shenanigans with the cup and trying to find the Dragon Ball thing. This had everything you want from a Dragon Ball thing, and I don't know. You couldn't ask for anything more. My mouth was open the entire time watching it. I was like, "Oh, this is so fucking cool.
True, can confirm.
This was so fucking cool." Took us 8 episodes to get here, but we got here, and
We're so back.
God, I could already tell people, and the discourse online has been super fucking medium about Dragon Ball to this point. Like it hasn't even cracked the top 10 in terms of viewership since it dropped like in the beginning, and it got a little bump when the movie came out, not the movie, but the 3 episode with dubs. Uh, but man, I don't know, man. I don't. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, you miss out on this because not only did it give us this amazingly animated fight and show us what this show's peak can be. We're not even gonna be at the final fight yet, so this excites me to show what the final fight's gonna be like.
Hmm.
We also get massive, massive lore dumps at the end of this show. I know you every week you talk about this, but you haven't watched all of Dragon Ball in
I
general,
have
so
not.
you don't know what changes that they've done to the lore, but
I do not.
it's it's super cool what they did. And it's honestly super simple too, because it's not necessarily like earth-shattering stuff that will crazily break the foundation of Dragon Ball, but it's just simple things that you're like, okay, you know what? That makes a lot of sense. And it's kind of cool. Oh yeah, that this is a good bridge continuation. So, without further ado, let's kind of go into the episode a little bit more than what I just did. The fight was really cool in the beginning. The animation was top tier. I liked the Tamagami using his hammer like Thor. I also enjoyed watching how smart Goku was in this fight,
Yeah.
kind of testing how far he could go um, against the Tamagami. And I thought that that was a really interesting way to showcase Goku's not only like skill, but to showcase how intelligent he is. Because as we see at the end, when he needs to figure out where the Dragon Ball is, he uses his eye skill to like beat the Tamagami at his own game. But it's like, man, it's so fun seeing Goku just go ham against somebody, and you know that he's messing around. And then when he gets serious, he turns into a Super Saiyan. It's like, all right, let's go. And you get the beam, the beam struggle. I thought it was really cool seeing Goku not only use the beams to like attack the Tamagami, but also mask his next move in the smoke, which is,
Yeah.
it's not like something that's you're gonna catch that's super like lots of people do this in every anime, but it's just cool because I don't necessarily think we see that a lot in Dragon Ball. It's really just and then they shoot at each other, and then there's the giant smoke, and then they walk out of the smoke. This was actually useful fights or useful like attacks for that. And then to get to the Kamehameha, like I thought the Kamehameha wave animation, this was so fucking cool.
Mhm.
This was so fucking cool. This Kamehameha animation had that movie style build up. It
Mhm.
had the execution that you would probably only see in a movie. And I think that that's what made this special because it came in a show and it came in something that has been arguably kind of disappointing up to this point. So the fact that they gave us this amazing I mean, I'm not gonna say it's like an homage to like, what the Kamehameha is to, Toriyama. Not Toriyama. Yeah, it's Toriyama, right? Yeah, whatever. Kira Toriyama. Yeah, I am right. All these manga people and their names. I always get them all confused. But this was so cool to see that final just Kamehameha and what they did with it. It looked, I don't know, it was fucking really cool. Top
Mhm.
five in the series for me. What did you think about the fight?
Yeah, like all of the fights that we've seen so far have been really, really good and like really well animated. But this was like coming from like such a goofy show that this has been, it was really, really good. Um, and I have it in my notes here that I wasn't sure if this was like common in like Dragon Ball or like the Dragon Ball lore, but I really liked how the final test was an intelligence test. I thought that that was really interesting. Um, and like I liked seeing Goku succeed in that because I feel like from like the other Dragon Ball content that we have been consuming, there hasn't been like a as a triumphant of a win as this felt for me. Because like just to reference like to Dragon Ball Z, his win against Vegeta, like it wasn't a like Goku didn't come out of that unscathed. Like he it wasn't like a typical like um hero wins without like a scratch
Yeah.
kind of like thing. So it was nice to kind of see Goku come out of this and like be like be like the Chad and like be like the cool guy and like
Yeah.
everybody's like think he's so cool. Like I really liked that like outcome and I think it makes it all the better that he's just a little guy right now, so he's just like extra cute.
This
Um,
reminded me a lot of different like isekais whenever somebody defeats like the dragon, they return to the village and
mm-hmm.
everybody's like, "Yeah, he defeated the dragon." Like this reminded me of
Yeah.
Stark and Frieren when he defeats the dragon. They get
Yeah,
or honestly
yeah.
any part in Frieren when they defeat a bad guy and they return to the village and all
Mm-hmm.
the villagers are like traveling with them being like, "Yeah, you did it. Way to go." Like,
Yeah.
hooray! That I like that. I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was
I really
really
liked
art.
that.
It's like RPG
Mm-hmm.
feely.
Yeah, no, I really liked that. And it was like super well animated and it was so fun to watch. And I almost feel like because the rest of the show has been like pretty mid this far that this is it like makes the this episode like so much more like better, I guess, because you're just like if we could have had this like the whole time.
Yeah.
Um, also love I need more Hibis.
Yeah,
You could
we'll
never
get
make me
into him a
hate
little bit later
Ibis.
on. Love Hibis. Hibis is our low-key favorite character.
Yeah,
Okay,
Ibis.
I'm gonna do my favorite segment of the Dragon Ball so far and talk
What were
about
they eating?
well that, but also what the haters love. You know what? I put out a short, a YouTube short of sorts, and somebody called me out for not saying Dabura because I said Dabura. Okay. This is your call out. It is Dabura. I understand. I say Dabra. My bad. I don't think anybody else, the 140 other people that liked the video, obviously didn't have a problem with it. I get it. I understand. But my point in bringing that up is that I brought up last week that I thought the Tamagami would be around the power level of Super Perfect Cell, which would be around Super
Mm.
Saiyan 2 Gohan. So the fact that Goku had lightning and it looked like he was Super Saiyan 2 at the end of the fight and he defeated the Tamagami. Not completely because he didn't blow up the guy. So I think that would be around Super Saiyan 2. Uh, so my prediction I think was right. So I will give myself a pat on the back for
Good
being
job.
for being right
You did
about
it.
that. Um,
Congratulations. Congratulations.
congratulations. That's and it's not just I feel validated too because I actually just watched um a breakdown of Dragon Ball Daima from Masako X, and he talked about how a couple other creators were also of the same line of thinking that I was. So I'm glad that I was on whatever on the
On
right
par.
track. Yeah, on par on the right track of what they were thinking too. So it's not just me. I'm sorry that I said Dabra a million times. It's Dabura. I gave you sass in the comments. I don't remember what your name was. I think your name was like Elite Scrub or something. I don't know. You were right, man. Good for you. Um, yeah, so moving forward in the episode, we get to see Glorio contacting Arinsu, and we see her being evil, evil witch sitting on her
Yeah, that was really
hookah
fun for me to
machine.
see. I was like, giant hookah.
Yeah, she's like smoking away. She's like, here's my moving on with my evil plan. So, okay, so I'm gonna explain this to you because you don't really understand what was happening in this, and like just
Well,
I
like,
don't want
you made me cover my eyes. So
yeah,
I didn't even see what was happening.
I didn't want you to see one certain part, but honestly, when I say this, it won't really matter because this could literally happen in a million different parts of the show, and it does happen in a million different parts of the show. Okay, so I'm gonna go over the parts of what happened at the latter half of the show, and we'll see what we go to. We cut to Goma looking over at the battle between Majin Vegeta and Buu, where Vegeta makes his ultimate sacrifice, and Buu was regenerating, and parts of Buu were blown up all over the battlefield, and we see Aransu picking up a piece of Buu and putting it into some kind of container and assumably zooming back to Demon Realm 3, Demon World 3. So that's what that flashback was. What they were looking on the instant replay. They were watching the game tape of what had happened.
The game highlights.
We're watching the highlights of a battle. They're just like me, me at 10 years old looking up AMVs of battles of anime battles. That's what they were doing. Except they have the ability to zoom in, apparently see someone's legs. I don't know. So they see Arn2. And we cut to Aransu back, riding her hookah machine, and we find out what she did with that piece of Boo. Um, we meet this ancient lady or ancient witch, Marba, who is the one who is creating a stew of Boo. Stew of Boo. Huh? How about that? How about
You're
that?
so funny.
Yep. Yep. She's making a stew of Boo. Okay.
Ha!
She Arin
Ha!
Sue then says the last Majin could not defeat her. So I don't know if she was uh talking specifically about Majin Buu, so I don't necessarily know what that means and who she was talking about. I just assume that's their way of power scaling how tough she is, saying that she defeated a Buu or a Majin of some sorts. Um, but Arensu drops some massive lore knowledge on us that Marba is the one who created Majin Buu and not Bibbidi, who is Babbidi's father. She literally just created it after Bibbidi went to her. So that's kind of lore changing in a way. I think that's um it's not massive, but it's definitely like it connects this saga into the timeline a lot better than this just being a random story and it just being something that was like pulled out of their ass. Like it's just a random adventure of Goku doing random things. It connects what happened in the last arc to this very, very well. And I'm actually surprised that Dragon Ball is able to accomplish something like this. I know they're inserting characters and they're inserting things by being like, if you look really closely, she was there, and you would never see it on the actual, no, the tape. But like, I think it's cool that doing something like this. Um, so the fact that they're uh making another Majin is kind of cool, and I think that at the end of the series, we're going to see a new Majin. I think that adding in another classic villain that Toriyama has made. He's made three of the most iconic villains in all of anime. I mean, Majin Buu, Frieza, and Perfect Cell are some of the most well-known designs in all of anime. So the fact that we get one last
Mhm.
perfect sort of I don't know design from him is going to be really cool. I'm excited to see that. Uh, I think that maybe this is just prediction for me. Maybe we'll get to see Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3 to go against this Majin Buu, and we might see why he doesn't turn into a Super Saiyan 3 for the rest of the series. He never turned Super Saiyan 3, and it's always been like a giant what if for a lot of people. People are like, why didn't he ever do this? And maybe we'll get to see why. That'd be kind of cool if they filled in the blanks there. That's just prediction. We already know that Goku and Vegeta are gonna fuse. That's like 100% they're gonna fuse. If they don't fuse, I think that's a waste of time. That's annoying. I don't think they'll do that. But I think that we might get to see another transformation from Vegeta at least. I think that would be really cool. So that's kind of what was happening in the R and Sue part to give you a full kind of explanation on what was going on there. Did I do a good job of that?
Great job. I get it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Followed along
Um,
perfectly.
Thank you. Thank you. We cut then back to King Kadan. I don't know how to say this guy's name. Kadan Han. I don't know. The king contacts our boy Hibis, and the
My
the
boy. My boy
the
Happy.
the supercuts between Hibis and King Kadan and all the like party goers being like, because they're all partying that Goku got a Dragon Ball. They're like, hell yeah, it's New Year's here in the Demon Realm. It's party every day, like we're gonna die tomorrow. Like it is a great time. And Hibis is like, give me the mud wine. Can I have the mud wine? All I care about is my mud wine. Can I get some mud wine? And King Kadon's like, yeah. Why you gotta be so weird? Just stay at a hotel for the night. He's like, take the night off, pay for some mud wine.
He's
I
like,
was,
are you gonna buy it?
oh yeah, that's right. Is this on you on your dime? He's like, yeah, just buy it. Fantastic,
Yeah, he's like, excellent.
excellent news. Bulma's like, I wonder what mud wine tastes like. Hibis tastes like mud.
He's just like,
What are you
mud.
stupid? I was just waiting for him to be like, what are you stupid? And then Vegeta tries talking to him about something. He's like, sorry, I didn't talk to you because you sound like you want to be a king, but you're not a king. He
Yeah,
calls him
basically.
calls
Hibis
him
is
a
such a
fucking
like,
prince. Oh,
it's like, love
he's a
Hibis.
sassy man. He's a sassy
Love
man.
Hibis.
Hibis is my fave. He remains true to
This is a
himself, and he remains true to his mission. You know what? Hyvis, low key favorite character in this in this show. He is hilarious. I assume in the next episode that they'll meet. Maybe they won't meet. I don't know. But with how they're creating a new Majin Buu, Vegeta and Goku will have the combined forces at some point. We'll probably see Goku and Vegeta fight, um, and then fight another Tamagami. So I don't know. This episode's really fun. These last
Mhm.
couple episodes have been pretty good. I know we just called them mid, but they've been. We find fun things in them.
No, yeah, yeah, yeah. I was using it more as like a blanket term. I've definitely like I've been enjoying it because it's a fun concept. I find it very fun.
Yeah, yeah. So this was probably my. This is arguably a top five episode in general of
Hmm.
Dragon Ball for me. I'm not gonna try and go through what my top five episodes are because I would have to go through the entire series and try to figure out what they were. But um, like this was a top five episode of Dragon Ball. It was sick. The fight was amazing. Animations were top tier. If this is what peak Dragon Ball Daima is, just give us more. Just
Yeah.
stop having the fucking ship break down every 2 fucking minutes. Like just let them do this. This was so much fun.
No ships
Um
broke down in this episode.
Thank God. Thank God. Oh, they also ate, by the way. They also had some food. They had some more balls. More balls were
Yeah.
being eaten.
More balls with teeth.
We had some brown balls with teeth. We had the green balls with teeth. Goku loves those.
Yeah,
Um,
I love that they gave Goku like a whole feast for defeating the Tamagami. Like they
he
know my man.
he was
They
he was
understand him.
happy. He was happy to oblige. But yeah, what do you guys think of this episode? Let us know in the comments below. Right down there, leave a like, subscribe. Go watch our shorts. I post a bunch of Dragon Ball shorts on here, at least 3 a week. We're trying to push the shorts, so go on there, watch them, fight me. Look for the comment about Dabra and Dobra. Fight him, not me. Uh, all right,
Don't be
let's.
inciting violence.
I will cite all the. No, I don't even. This guy, I guarantee that guy did not fucking watch this podcast. I guarantee he is just some random dude who just appeared on the shorts timeline and was like. And the funny thing is, I asked for it too because it's not, on the description of the short was like, I can't wait to fight with people in the comments. It's literally the description of the short. So
Yeah.
he
Careful
came
what
to
you wish
battle.
for, buddy.
Hey, I'm fine. I'm fine with doing the attack. I was fine. We were sparring. Um, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's on the last Dragon Ball short I posted about Dobra, whatever. Well, I'm saying it
Dabura.
completely wrong. Dabura. I'm just saying it completely
Dabura.
wrong. Whatever. Gohan, Goku, Goten. They all have similar names.
This is what I'm here for. I'm here for the pronunciation of
Yes.
things. Fail done.
Yes.
Dabura. So,
I'm just a guy. I'm just a chill guy, dude. All right, let's talk about our other favorite show here on this channel.
Rain.
Ranma, Ranma 1.5 episode 4. The Hunter. This is our reaction to Ranma 1.5 episode 4. The Hunter. Uh, what I thought was Ranma versus the boar was not Ranma versus the boar. It was some guy who looked like Ranma, and it was Ryuga.
Hey, hang on. I'm pulling up my notes.
I
Excuse
th
me.
I think it's Ryuga Hibiki. I have that written down from the Wikipedia page. I'm sorry, these names are hard. I'm trying to learn the name.
Ryuga Hibiki?
Ryuga Hibiki in this episode of Rainma. I know his name is Ranma. Ranma. I'll try to say Ranma from now on. Nobody's complained about it. People like watching it and they don't complain about me saying Rainma.
It's just me
So
complaining about him
yeah,
saying
nobody
rainbow.
complains about it. So I guess you guys don't care. Maybe you do. I don't know. But
I want somebody to
yeah,
comment being like, I care.
I care. I told them last week the comment. I literally said, "Hey, if you give a shit, let fight me in the comments," and nobody did. Nobody cares. Yeah, so in this episode, Ranma, in the beginning of this episode, Ranma's trying to get dressed and his clothes are in the wash and he's like being told, dress like a woman. He's like, no,
No,
I'm a man. You mean to
I'll
tell me
let
that
my titties out if I want to.
he's like, free the, yeah, he's literally free to titty movement for Ranma. Let him have him out. Who cares? He doesn't care. Um, so yeah, Ryuga is traveling, going back and forth across Japan, trying to find Ranma because he wants revenge for Ranma taking the last piece of good food every single time at his last school. Like,
I get
there's a
him.
line. There's a line in this
Ruined his
episode.
life.
There's a line in this episode where Ryuga's walking in the forest and he's holding two walnuts in his hands and he's like, my life is fragile, just like this walnut. I will destroy Ranma like this walnut. And he crunches them. And I was like, I don't. It's like, what kind of goofy shit is this?
Literally, my first note is Ryuga Hibiki is so goofy.
The show is so funny. The show finds the funniest ways to introduce guys and just have them fight people randomly. I also think this was hilarious that Ranma tries the most diplomatic way to fight Hibiki by being like, "Here's all the food that I stole from you at that time. I remembered them all. So, and I got you every single one of them. But the thing is, he got them a week ago for their fight, and now they're all expiring. So now it's almost like a slap in the face of
Yeah,
what you could
because
have had."
dude is like so like lacking in his directional skills. And I literally have another note that's like I'm directionally challenged, but Hibiki makes me feel like a compass personified because there's like a scene where he's trying to get back to Tokyo and he's asking this lady passing by like which way to Tokyo and he's like is it this way? And she's like no, you idiots, this way. I told you this way. Why are you going the other way?
And it proceeds to go the other way anyway.
Yeah. He was late for his own thing because he just didn't know how to get back.
This, this, this episode was the most like random I would feel of all. At least like the first three episodes. I'm not gonna say they weren't random, but I feel like the first three episodes had a lot more story-based elements that were pushing the story like forward. This just kind of introduced a random ass dude and was like, he's here now. He's here to fight Ranma because you stole his food. And we didn't really we learned that Ranma went to an all boys school. So I guess we get some like backstory, a little bit of that. And this guy, Ryuga, is really strong too, so he
Mhm.
he he could be a an actual rival to Ranma.
Mhm.
But like other than that, there was really nothing in this episode that happened. It was just funny shenanigans. It was just funny, fun stuff. The only thing that really happened that I thought that actually made me for the first time, not that I don't like watching the show, but it didn't really make, I was like, oh, we could just wait another week for each episode. Like the end with Ranma and Akemi or Akane,
Akane.
Akane, um,
Akane.
Akane. I got it right second time. Yeah, with Ranma and Akane like getting serious at the end, where they
Hmm.
always like complain each
Like
episode. Like
hurt.
every episode, you see them, bickering about like, oh, maybe you do shit, blah, blah, blah," but it's always like, they're just messing around. Like Akane was like, no, if you really don't like me messing with you like this, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it.
Hmm.
And she like walked away, and I was like, oh hell
Hmm.
no, get her back, Ranma. And that was the
And
first
like
time that I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna know what happens next. Sorry, go on.
yeah. And no, sorry. And like right before that, they're almost having like a little cute moment because he was like he was in his female form, and he had like saved her from like getting out of the line of fire and stuff like that. So they're like hugging and they're very close. And then they realize that and they're like, oh, we're hugging. Oh no. But then right after that, like they get into the argument, um, which then like makes Akane go like, okay, well, if you don't want me caring about you, then I won't. I was like,
It's so funny because this happens in the midst of a fight with with Cayuga, who's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
yeah, and fucking Hibiki's like, come back and fight me.
Yeah, he's like, "What the hell is happening?" Yeah, I don't know. I was this is the first time this week where I was like, "Yeah, maybe we watched Ranma a little bit early this week. Maybe we see. I think I'm starting to like Ranma." Like, like, yeah, I don't know. This was I'm starting to see the appeal. I'm starting to see why people really like this show. This episode definitely felt the most filler-esque, but also just the ending of was superb. I am excited. I like Ranma and I like
Akane.
Akane. Why do I forget Akane? I'm trying,
That's what I'm
folks.
here for, ladies and gentlemen.
Seriously. Seriously, I'm trying. I'm trying. I swear to God, I have it on in front of me and I just read it wrong.
I swear to
I,
God,
se-
I can read.
I try every week. I try so hard. Um,
That's so
yeah,
funny.
this was yeah, this was a really, I don't know. I like this episode. I like the show. I love the intro. I like the intro to this show a lot. I don't know. Apparently, you guys like it too. You guys keep watching this shit. You guys keep watching our reviews, their reactions. So you guys like it too. This is our lo like people stay till the end of these videos. This is
Thanks.
this like so they stay
Thanks.
all the way to the end. It's for viewers like you. Thank you. Yeah, I mean that's all I got for Rama. You got anything else for Rama?
I thought that there was a lot of fun use of color in this episode.
Oh yeah.
Like the fight between Ryuga and Ranma was really, really fun. Like it was very comic-esque. There was like halftone textures in it. And this was like all throughout the show, which is something like they haven't really like played with before. Um I have it like noted that it really felt like the animators had a lot of fun with this episode because there was like so much texture play, so much like um animation style like play, like especially in like the very like opening, they have like a um they have them in like 8-bit, like 16-bit style and stuff, which we haven't like seen before either. So I really liked how much exploration was done with like both color and animation in this episode, and that made it like all the more enjoyable to watch for me because then like it didn't, if it is filler, it didn't feel too much like filler because you have like that thing at the end, but then you're also getting a lot of this like um exploration and like play with the animation. I really enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, that was cool. I don't mean filler like a bad way. I don't know, whatever.
No, 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 neither do I.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I didn't want to cross over those things. I just was like, hey, it's fun. It's a fun show. It's fun. Things were
TLDR, it
happening.
was fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun. It's cool. It's cool. I mean, like the thing is with the show is like, it's just like we're watching it because it's a new thing that's coming out. Gives us another thing to like react to. It's also like if it was the thing is if the show was really bad, we wouldn't be watching it, you know? Like if it was extreme, we haven't dropped a show yet on this podcast, but like if we did find one that was extremely bad, like we would just be like, fuck it, we're not watching this shit. Like I don't know. We have more shows coming out. Solo Leveling comes back next month or later on this month. Yeah. And we liked Solo Level. We watched it week to week when it came out. So that's coming back soon. But anyway, my point being is that, you know, Ranma is one of those shows where it's like it's getting there. It's cooking. I see the progression of what's happening here. And
She's
we're gonna
simmering.
continue. Yeah, we're gonna continue watching it. I hope you guys keep watching it with us. And let us know in the comments below. Comment. I know you guys like to comment, so do it. Do it for me. Hit like and subscribe. Heart. Okay. This is the part of the podcast where we talk about our random Random anime stuff. We got random. This is the garbage. This is the garbage time segment. We got
I
random
love
shit
garbage
going.
time.
This is our garbage time. We got random shit. The what comes out this week? Well, I was just talking about it. I just said it. The show
Solo
that we watched,
leveling.
Solo Leveling. Solo Leveling, the movie recap comes out this week.
Mm.
Maybe we'll watch it. Maybe we won't. I don't know. She moves next week, by the way. So
Yes, yes. Mind my mess. I am moving this weekend, so this will be the last time you see this room. And with
oh
that
yeah,
being
that's
said, I
right.
have not watched any more Fairy Tale because I am packing my life. So
Yeah. True, true. Yeah, so next time we see her, I don't know. Will you have your internet set up by next week?
who knows? I'm gonna try to get it. I'll maybe making some calls and send stuff up this week. So,
Yeah, dude, get that set up. We'll do a podcast the night after.
God, then you'll see more of my mess worse.
That'll be fun. But I watched some anime this week. So I watched more Hunter x Hunter. How funny is this, right? So last week I was talking about I was like, oh yeah, Gon and Killua are gonna go and save Kite. They're gonna go save their master, their new master from the bugs, and everything's gonna be all good. Psych, the very next episode, we find out he's dead. Big psych. Big psych. This show just keeps getting fucking crazier and crazier. Gon is I don't even know how to explain it, man. Gon is really really growing on me as a main character. I did not give a fuck really about Gon until literally this arc. It took me 5 arcs to fully see the specialness that is Gon as a character. His
I think
determination.
I'm starting to like them.
Yeah, I do. I just like Gon, honestly. I was a huge Karapika fan up to this point, Karapika's he's zoomed up there as one of my top like 5 new, and I wanted to finish the anime first before I like put him in my top 5 for like anime characters in general. I want to see if he did anything worse or did anything better, so I could say those feats. But we haven't fucking seen him in fucking 3 seasons now, so I can't tell you whether or not I like him any less. I like him where he was at after the Phantom Troop arc, and that's where we just left him. But now that we've gotten 3 straight seasons of Gon and Killua fucking around and having a good time, this arc so far has been really fun, really cool. And we're getting to the part where the queen's about to have her baby, so we're gonna see. Apparently, this character is a really fan favorite, so I'm going to be excited to see where this goes. I looked up online what were the best arcs in Hunter x Hunter to like fans, and they said that this arc, overwhelmingly, I've looked on multiple sources that this arc is the fan favorite. So I'm excited to finally get to the climax of what's happening in this arc and see some big character development out of Killua and Gon going forward.
I'm excited
That's
for you.
all. That's all I watched for anime this week was that. We watched Shin Godzilla. Shin Godzilla had Neon Genesis Evangelion's mangaka on there. He was one of the directors for it, and I wanted to show her because Neon Genesis is her favorite anime. So I want to show her that and see if she saw any big, um, I don't know, references, how similar the art you could like get to in a Godzilla thing to Neon Genesis. So what did you think of Shin Godzilla?
Yeah, I really liked it. I mean, like before I was never really like a big fan of big like monster movies. But Godzilla's been growing on me that we've been watching so much because he really likes Godzilla. Um, and I really, really like this one. I could definitely see the like parallels between Evangelion and this show. There were like also some Evangelion references. Like there was a for example, they pulled up a like Twitter thing of like people talking about Godzilla popping up, and one of the people in the thread had an Asuka profile picture, which was like, "Hey, I know
Reference.
her." Yeah. Um, and there was another reference too that somebody one of the characters' names like was mentioned was Asuka. It's like, oh, reference. I know Asuka. Um, a lot of the cinematography was a lot like Evangelions, I noticed. Like there's a lot of like close-ups to people's faces. There's a lot of close-ups to like um it's like so hard to describe. Like there's like close-ups on like the machinery and like the things that they're looking at, which Evangelion does a lot of. Evangelion loves to have like really close-up like shots. Um, I also really liked how they focused on, I guess, like the politics of like kind of like what would happen if something like this were to take place and how it like became not just a like localized Japanese problem, but like a worldwide problem where they're like involving the US and they're involving like their other allied nations and like what are we gonna do? Like, how
Yeah.
are we gonna like stop this? Like I found that really interesting. I also liked seeing like Godzilla progress. He was like so fucking goofy when he
Yeah.
spawned. Like the whole time we were just like giggling because he looks so
He
goofy.
looks so goofy in the beginning of this. Some random like facts though about the Shin Godzilla thing.
Yes. Hmm.
I'm on the Evangelion Reddit page.
Nice.
Um I'm not gonna say these names right, but the composer who did Evangelion, Sagisu, also composed the entire soundtrack for Shin Godzilla 2.
That tracked because I felt that like a
Yeah.
lot of the music was also like esque, like Evangelion esque. Like aside from like the Godzilla theme, which is like you do it one way, it's recognizable, but like all the other like underlying music, absolutely.
Well, the thing is, there were like also several shots from Evangelion that were in it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I think of
That's what I
one
was
where
trying to say. I couldn't remember like, yeah.
there was one where all the lights were going off in Japan,
Hmm.
and they were like, it was kind of the direct thing of when the uh I forget what it was called, but Shinji's mech flies out, and
Yes.
it's like that
Mm-hmm.
flashing lights. That's what was in front
Yes.
of him and in front of Shin Godzilla.
Mm-hmm. There's like a
Um,
lot of references to like the fourth impact and stuff.
Yeah, all I was waiting for was another mech to show up and somebody to be like, "Get in the fucking mech, Shinji.
Kid in the robot.
Get in there." And somebody slaps the kid and he just gets ready to fight him. Like, I don't know, I was ready for that. I don't know, Shin Godzilla's fun. Shin Godzilla's a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like Shin Godzilla a lot, also just because it felt very anime-y for
It did.
obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like the soundtrack. I mean, I like Evangelion. Evangelion's a weird, fun thing. This movie had a lot of weird moments, weird like
Yes.
filmed moments, and there was, the inclusion of Americans in it, and it
That it
being
was
like
kind of funny. It's
also
like
the
this is what
inclusion of
y'all think
Germans.
Americans are.
Yeah, that's exactly what they think that we are, and also what they think Germans are. It's funny. It's just like, okay, here's the most random shit ever, and we're gonna go with it. Um, Also, the ending with the little humans that are on top of Shin
Yes, that's
Godzilla's
what I'm saying.
tail.
Like it's so very like what's that
It's
thing
so
called? Like the human integration project or something, whatever it's called. I love Evangelion, but all the names are so convoluted.
yeah.
Like the big blob in space with all the people. That's what Godzilla was referencing.
Yeah. So I don't know. That was we just watched it. That'd be cool, interesting anime related thing to talk about on the pod.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, if you watch Shin Godzilla, let us know. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below what you think. Um, and yeah, that's kind of it. That's all I got for this week. Anything else for the audience? We might be back next week. We'll see. We'll see how tired we are after the move. We'll see if we can even get anything set up. I really doubt we'll do an episode on Sunday, but
Hmm.
maybe we'll watch DanDaDan on Thursday and we'll just do like a phone recording review. We'll just do it. We'll do it with the phone. We'll do an actual podcast. We'll do it just hey, how's it going? We're here to talk about DanDaDan.
Yeah, we'll see how soon I can also get like my internet set up, and
Yeah.
it'll be a hassle for sure.
Yeah, so maybe we'll do that in this next week. But anyway, hope you guys have a great week. We'll see you all when we see you. Goodbye. Farewell. Adios. I love you.